This was the only episode of the show in which Bill Bixby got to work with his wife at the time, Brenda Benet. I think I pronounced it correctly. They apparently met when she did a guest spot on the courtship of Eddie's father and married shortly thereafter. So Eddie's efforts paid off. They had a son named Christopher and life was good. Then tragedy struck. In 1981, Christopher died suddenly from an infection that made him stop breathing at age 6. Probably as a result, she and Bill Bixby divorced. It was too much, and April 7th, 1982, she removed herself from the land of the living. She was only 36. That meant by the time this episode aired, she only had 2 years left to live. I do a lot of actor profiles, as we know, and it's fascinating to see how every person is so unique. Profiles like this are the hard ones.
Door 7, report of breaking and entering. Hempstead and Warnicki Avenues, rear of liquor store, that location. We already have a car headed in your direction on another call.
Let me check it out first. Clear our call for assistance.
We've also been hearing reports about the Hulk running down a certain street. Our setups are getting just a little bit obvious, but they work, so who cares? My guess, he wasn't looking where he was going and ran headfirst into the Hulk. That's gonna hurt when he wakes up. Did it finally happen? Did the Hulk actually attack and harm someone? That question will haunt David throughout the episode.
Officer, the man was just here to deliver a package. He was running very late to pick up an important delivery. No, I do not know his name, but he does work for the Jeffers Delivery Service.
What's going on, Annie?
He's going to be involved in an accident. That's difficult to say because I saw it happen.
Another vision.
If I wait to file a report, it's going to be too late. No, please, don't hang up.
Meet Annie. We'll discover that she's a lot like David in that she goes by several different last names. She has her own reasons, and that right there is a big one. It just got her fired. Again.
I think we'd all be much better off if you just found yourself another job, honey.
She tries to wear gloves when she's around people because touch is the biggest trigger, but it often happens even through clothing.
Yes. Little Pepper's Pizza Palace. No, the restaurant opens at 4. Very well. Thank you. Mr. Denoff's residence? No. No, he's not in just now. May I take a message, please? Very well.
Please be careful not to spill your coffee.
Miss Kaplan, just leave.
Some people just don't want you to be nice to them. She's got a good mad going here, and she won't let you kill it with kindness. Understand?
Yes, no, they're away for the rest of the month. May I tell them who called? Thank you.
See, she's been looking forward to that mess and the burned hand all day, and you tried to spoil it. David is working at a sidewalk grocer's.
And to finish the news headlines, according to the police, an unidentified creature attacked a teenage boy last night. Officer Josh Williams witnessed the suspect at the scene of the crime. A suspect he could only describe as nearly 7 feet tall with a greenish color to his skin. Police have sent out an all-points bulletin on the suspect. But the story has a tragic note. The victim, 15-year-old Robbie Donner of San Francisco, is listed in critical condition at St. Andrew's Hospital.
He and his friend were robbing a liquor store at 15. We'll get the feeling a lot of people forgot that part. David feels like his whole world just imploded.
He works for the Jeffers delivery service. He's going to be involved in an accident. I saw it happen.
Annie feels the same. Nobody would listen, and now that man is badly hurt. She's such a good person, she takes every event like that personally. It's not doing her any good. It just drives another nail in her bad self-image and sense of guilt over these visions she has.
Oh!
That's all right. I'll take care of it.
Usually, David is the one who sees the situation and has to try to step in and make things better. Today, he'll be on the receiving end. For now, though, Annie will be a little freaked out and slip away quickly. She lives in a dump, as we might expect. She really is a lot like David.
Hey, Kaplan. This came for you. You're overdue on your rent. Way overdue.
I don't have it.
As we know, on TV, a gruff voice, heavy 5 o'clock shadow and suspenders, braces to my British friends, are the signs of a sleazebag.
Well, why don't you open up your letter? It came by messenger. Maybe a rich uncle died and left you his millions.
Or maybe a poor uncle died and left her a mountain of debt. How is it any of your business?
I don't mean to give you a hard time on this rent thing. If you don't have the cash, maybe we can come up with some other arrangement.
Anne, the detectives have located you.
You need taken care of. And you ain't so bad looking, baby.
We were all waiting for that. Those pills are enough to kill her, and between the letter and this dirtbag, she's considering it. The letter went by too fast, and we only got voiceover of the first line. Here's the whole thing. Annie, the detectives have located you. It's no use running away. You must come back. If you don't, I'm coming out there to bring you back. Please call me Dr. Charles Faulkner. You get the feeling she'd rather swallow those pills.
I'm not crazy.
What are you talking about?
It's real, thank God it's real.
Since there's nobody else around to tell, she'll tell Scudbucket about it.
I saw this thing. This man who becomes the Hulk. And I'm not crazy.
You know the guy that turns into that thing?
No, I don't know him.
But you know who he is.
Yes.
Hey, who needs a rich uncle? This paper's willing to pay $10,000 for that freak.
He says one phone call and your money troubles vanish. Of course, he's hoping for a nice cut, and I'm sure she'd give it to him. A cut exactly equivalent to the back rent, wrapped up in a notice that she's moving out. Looks like he has a date with Madam Fingers again. I do give him credit for respecting the boundaries. He will take no for an answer. He won't like it, but that's a separate issue.
I can't do that.
You're feeling sorry for a guy who's a public menace? This kid, Robbie Donner, he's in a hospital, all broken up. His neck snapped by that thing. Hey, I mean, forget about the $10,000. Seems to me that you should be feeling sorry for that poor kid. You gotta call.
A broken neck doesn't sound like the Hulk. He doesn't hit people, he throws them. If he threw the kid and the boy landed face first, maybe. But he was face up when the officer found him, and as far as we know, the Hulk hadn't touched him. Too many things don't compute. Annie doesn't know any of that, so she calls Jack.
Mrs. Donner, Robbie came through the surgery, but he's still in critical condition. We won't know anything for at least 24 hours. Please, go home and try to get some rest. I'll call you myself if there's any change.
Well, there's just me and Robbie. If I go home, I'll be alone.
Dr. Sherman, 247. Dr. Sherman, 247.
She didn't expect to see him here. She was probably coming to check on Robbie. I think she assumed that since he turns into this raging monster, he's a monster himself. Seeing him here, the obvious concern on his face is throwing a monkey wrench into her resolve.
But do you expect Mr. McGee to check in soon? When he does, would you give him this message, please? Tell him that Annie Kaplan called and that John Doe is at St. Andrew's Hospital. 3rd floor waiting room.
I could be mistaken. She's being opportunistic. I like her. She gets herself a cup of coffee out of one of those machines that drops the cup down and all that. I have to tell you about one of my favorite comic strips of all time. If you're familiar with Frank and Ernest, Ernie is looking at the machines, one per panel. The first one says, coffee, 10 cents. The next one says, coffee with cream, 20 cents. Then, coffee with sugar, 30 cents. Next, coffee with cream and sugar, 40 cents. That's the one he wants. He puts his money in, pushes the button, and the coffee goes sploosh all over him. That's because the next machine says, coffee with cup, 50 cents. I still laugh at that one. Anyway, Annie gets a cup and sits down to keep an eye on Mr. Doe.
Dr. Correa to OR.
Or she'll give it her best effort, but David isn't exactly the most interesting person in the world. Suddenly she understands. She sees all the loss, the heartache, widowed twice, how and why he becomes the Hulk, everything. This is a good man, and she knows what she has to do.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Dr. Perry, 762. Dr. Perry, 762.
David! You've got to get out of this hospital.
How did you know my name?
I went to the market where you work. They told me you were here.
As I said, I could be wrong about everything.
I know who you are. I know what you become. There's a reporter, Mr. McGee. He's on his way over here.
David's having trouble following any of this, but if Jack is coming, he's going.
I still don't understand why you're helping me.
It's not important. David, if you need a safe place to hide, I live at the Leonide Hotel room 5D.
What's the matter?
That man, he's about to be hurt.
He's moving oxygen cylinders while smoking. He is an accident. The kaboom happens just as she foresaw.
Stop! Don't go in there!
He's in there.
All right, no, just stay here. I'll get it.
I'm not sure Annie saw this part coming. Obviously, he didn't see any of this coming, or he wouldn't have been smoking in the first place. He throws that cylinder next to him through the wall and then picks up our delivery man. No, he's not showing off. He's clearing a path. So there. Now she knows that there's enough of David in there that no matter how much damage his rage causes, he's not a killer. He's one of the good guys.
Mommy! Mommy! Mark? Where are you? Mommy! I got lost and can't find my mommy.
Mark, where are you?
Mommy!
Mark! 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 Oh, help me! Someone help! It's the creature who attacked that boy! Help me!
What was he doing to the boy, lady? He was keeping him company until you got there. How terrible. And by the way, the boy took his hand, not the other way around. Once Mark settles down, you might want to look into why he did that. The kid isn't credited, which is probably good since that was some of the worst acting I've seen in a long time. Mommy! Mommy!
Who is it?
David?
I want to make sure you were all right.
Oh, I was worried about you. Come in.
Needless to say, they both have many questions.
Miss Kaplan?
Yes?
Jack McGee.
And they'll have to wait a bit.
Miss Kaplan?
Just a minute.
He can hide on the fire escape until she gets rid of the pest. She manages to stonewall Jack until he gives up and leaves.
Judas refusing 30 pieces of silver. A little too late, I'm afraid.
You refused it before the deed was done. Judas didn't. That's the difference.
You'd be surprised how often people touch one another.
But in her case, it's not as casual as it is to the average person. Touch long enough and she knows more about you than she ever wanted to.
Was there something special about me?
You were in turmoil. Touching anybody who is in an emotional state triggers the visions.
And these visions, they began with what, an injury, accident?
It was an accident of birth.
She's had this for as long as she can remember. The older she got, the more vivid the visions got.
At first, I told my mother and father everything that I saw, but then the town's pediatricians diagnosed me as having a talent for storytelling.
But the stories came true?
Yes. Sometimes they did, but often I would misread a vision, or I would only get a glimpse of the future and that event taking place, and then I would be punished for lying.
Damned if she tells, damned if she doesn't. She finally quit telling anybody about the visions and kept it all to herself.
I read about a doctor at a New York university. Dr. Faulkner studied me full-time, and I audited classes at the university part-time.
And why'd you leave?
Well, Dr. Faulkner and I were working with the police on some kidnapping cases.
One little boy who got snatched was being kept in what she thought was a cave in her vision. It was a sewer, and by the time the police wasted their time searching caves, it was too late for the little boy. She couldn't handle it and ran away, as the doctor's letter said.
I read a line written by Shakespeare once. Past hope, past cure, past help.
What do you say to that? David knows what to say. Nothing.
David, what is it?
David Banner has hit his breaking point, knowing that as the Hulk, he killed someone. Watch this acting. When you're in such inner turmoil you can't even cry properly, it looks just like that. Any of us who has been there knows. I was 23 going on 14 when my dad died suddenly. He, my mom, and I were all living in Idaho at the time while the rest of the family was in California, so I had to hold everything in and be the strong one for my mother. At his funeral, some friends of ours started singing his favorite hymn, and I was finally able to break down. I put my head in my sister-in-law's lap and started to let it out. Then a couple of women started singing the Old Rugged Cross. He hated that song. I was so shocked and angered I closed up right then and there, and frankly, it was another 15 years before I was finally able to let it out. That's a story for another time. The point is, when you're that broken, what Annie is doing is what you need. They try to quietly attend the boy's funeral, but Jack McGee shows up and David has to slip out. And now so does she. I'm a little surprised she didn't see those thoughts earlier. We know it's because he thinks he killed that boy.
Miss Kaplan.
David jumping, Jack getting shot. What does she do? How can she handle this? Jack tells her he's going to interview Robbie's best friend. It's not what he came for, but it'll have to do.
Mr. McGee?
Is it about John Doe?
No, it isn't, but...
Miss Kaplan, the next time you get a hold of a really hot news item, call somebody else, okay?
Somebody else isn't offering a 10 grand reward, Jack. At the time, it seemed like a good idea. She's learned some things since then. Education happens even to the best of us. And when it happens, he can't say she didn't try to tell him. I guess Jack made her decision for her. Better get to David quick.
David, suicide is not the answer. It's not going to bring that boy back to life.
This isn't a suicide, this is an execution.
Well, a lot of us think it's a bad idea to kill people for any reason, official or not. I happen to be one of them. He says, courts can't deal with the creature. I have to be judge, jury, and executioner. Annie is arguing that he's also destroying himself, a good man who deserves to live.
You know, the curse may not be the creature that I turned into, but the man that I have become.
No.
Yes.
David, we can go someplace peaceful.
Utopia does not exist.
True, but I've been to some places that come mighty close. She says, I can use my visions to keep you away from people and situations that might make you change. Sounds reasonable to me.
Even if it was possible, it's only a matter of time before McGee finds me.
He's not going to be a problem for you anymore.
Oh, you don't know McGee? He'll never quit.
David, I tried to tell him. By tomorrow, Jack McGee may not be alive.
That got his attention. He doesn't really give a hoot and a holler about his own life, but other people do matter to him, even Jack McGee. She might have guessed that the best way to get him back inside was to tell him somebody needed his help, even Jack McGee. That logo she saw is a boxing gym where the boys hang out.
You and Robbie were members of the same gang, right? The Renegades?
It's a club.
How many members in your club?
6.
That's 6 besides you and Robbie.
No.
Jack thinks that's odd, but I've been in clubs that had 3 members. How many people you have isn't as important as what you do with the time you spend together. David and Annie have arrived at the gym. While Annie goes to call the police, David looks for a way in. I'm just spitballing, but the front door might be a good place to start looking.
Now, the 4 of the Renegades were seen by quite a few witnesses at the bowling alley. But you were homesick that night.
Yeah.
And yet, according to the police report, we have only your mother as witness to that.
Jack told Annie the story was going to be warm and human. This is Jack being warm and human.
So the fact is there were 2 members of the Renegades in the alley that night. Robbie and you. You were there, weren't you, Johnny? You saw the creature, didn't you? Did he pick up that board and swing at Robbie?
Jack is too focused on the Hulk to realize the obvious.
It's all right. Don't worry. It was an accident, wasn't it?
What's the difference? You think the judge will go easy on me because I only meant to smash a cop instead of my friend?
He has a valid point, made even more valid by the zip gun. You can make a rudimentary pistol out of a piece of wood, a bullet, a rubber band, and a nail. That's what he's holding. And it shoots just like a real pistol because the bullet is very real. Jack is alive, but he's badly hurt. David still can't find an unlocked door, which raises the question, how did Jack get in? But we're not supposed to ask. So he wraps his coat around his hand, breaks the little window, and opens the door. Johnny is trying to reload, but his nerves are in overdrive and he's having trouble keeping his hands under control. I think we all know the feeling. I mean the shaky hands not loading a zip gun. Either he managed to slip away or that last shot disintegrated him.
Stop!
What's worse than a dangling participle? A dangling David. But he won't be David for long. I can't help wondering what's in Johnny's head. Does he really think killing Jack will cover his tracks? Does he think he'll get away with it? Answer: he's 15. You can't be serious about this thinking stuff. It would be interesting to learn what drove him and Robbie to this sort of thing. Did he really do the old Hollywood Western thing and throw the gun at him? He scrambles into the ring as if the ropes can stop this thing. And I'll never understand why we call the square contest area a ring. If this was square, it wouldn't fit very well now, would it? Call it a square. Call it a mat. Call it Bob. We have lots of options. I don't think your protection impresses him very much.
Wait!
As we saw, the kid is done anyway. Leave him for the police. Jack can tell them what they need to know on his way to the hospital. But right now, he gets to witness something beyond extraordinary. That's his cue to leave, and if letting that clip run gets me demonetized, so be it. It's too good to chop up. When she looked into the Hulk, she saw nothing but kind, gentle David. That kind of proves the point she was making on the fire escape.
I think you're making the right decision going back to the university.
As bad as it was when I couldn't locate that little boy. I guess the best doctors lose patience, don't they?
But you did save the others.
It's like there's this cosmic tally sheet. You have to try and keep your life in balance.
That's one way to look at it. Another is, we're all human. We constantly need to forgive ourselves for that.
David, if you need to be reminded...
I know. I can reach you through Dr. Faulkner at the university.
She ran away because she felt confined and restricted. I think she'll be a little more consistent about asserting herself and demanding balance from now on. The thing people like her forget is Faulkner isn't the one in charge. She is. Without her, what's he got? Detectives trying to find her, that's what. She doesn't even have to run away. Refuse to do what he wants until he agrees to her terms. What can he do to her? Send her to bed without supper? I think she understands that now.
In New York.
Who do I ask for?
My name is Annie Cassidy.
Annie Cassidy.
Mm-hmm. You won't forget.
How could I?
Goodbye, David.
You be good to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What she saw is for her alone. What do I think of psychics? Let me put it this way. I think we all have what people used to call a sixth sense. Is it possible it's stronger in some people than in others? Why not? Some people have better eyesight than others. I don't have a great palate. My daughter can name every spice and count the grains of salt in her food. If it's an external sense like the others, there's a good chance some people have a stronger dose of it than others. Now, does this sixth sense let you see the future? No. That's where it breaks down, because I think the sixth sense is physiological, which is to say, genetic. Seeing the future crosses the line into the metaphysical, and my definition of sixth sense doesn't go there. Your mileage may vary. Brenda Benet. Her subdued, understated performance really captured the girl who's always been on the outside. The only real acceptance she ever found was with a guy who treated her like a lab rat. She's never been that crazy about her gift because of how people reacted, but when she saw the Hulk for the first time, she thought she had finally cracked. That was why the pills, she didn't want to live with insanity. She was convincing. At the end, she's still pretty uncertain, but David has left her better than he found her. The Annie that's going back to New York ain't the Annie that ran away. Let's just hope Dr. Faulkner can handle the new improved Annie, now with 20% more attitude and 50% more confidence. He should just be glad she doesn't come in the giant economy size now. Of course, whatever you say. See, Doctor? It could always be worse. Then tragedy struck in 1981. Good Lord, off to a great start here, Irving. That's his cue to leave, and if letting that clip running can name every spice, count the grains of salt in their food. Okay. And there's a word missing.